Welcome to this week's hairdressing horror stories. I cannot wait to share with you some of the stories that you have sent in. I've also included some of my own this week. So the first hairdressing horror story that we've got going is actually, I'm guilty of this one. So when we first got disposable towels in the salon, I was doing a beautiful balayage on one of my Asian clients. I actually mistook her headscarf as one of our disposable towels and actually picked it up to wipe my bleach hands all over it. And as she looked at me really strangely, I said to her, "This is your headscarf, isn't it?" In which she nodded. But actually, to this day, she is still my client. So I must have done a banging balayage that day. Now, the second hairdressing horror story, and I'm sure all of you guys can relate to this in the current climate, is actually trying to drink an espresso through my visor. Can you imagine the burn? And actually, you know what? I'm guilty of this too. My client offered me the sweet the other day and I had my visor on and I was trying to eat it through my visor. So we're all guilty of that. My nan actually went to a village salon because she couldn't get in with me. This is not my story, this is someone else's. And they actually did a bleach and a perm all on the same day. Oh, I can imagine that was just not pretty at all. And the fourth horror story I'm also guilty for. So this is probably my favourite one actually. It's so bad I wasn't even sure whether to feature it on the show, but I'm going to anyway. So when we opened 4 years ago, my husband David sometimes helps me with social media, and I remember he put a load of pictures of hair on our Facebook page, and this post, it was just going absolutely wild. Like, there were so many likes, so many love hearts, so many laughing faces. I just thought, what on earth? So I clicked on the post, scrolled through it, and it accidentally added a photo of Kate Middleton with a vagina out alongside all of the team's balayage and bleach work. And actually, I think to this day, it still remains one of our most popular posts. So finally, something else that I wanted to bring in to hairdressing horror stories is actually looking at criminal hairdressers. So the first up tonight that I decided to take a little look into is the one and only Sweeney Todd. So here it is. Let's talk about Sweeney Todd, also known as the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. This story actually originated from France and is thought to have been talked about and sort of written in the 14th century. Now, it is the tale of the demon barber who originally had a trapdoor underneath his chair and he used to slit his clients' throats. And then he used to send them to the bakery that his missus ran, and she used to make them into pies.
The worst pies in London. Not even that's polite, the worst pies in London. If you dare to take a bite.
But actually, outside of the shop that it was thought to have been where Sweeney Todd worked, there is actually a grate, and under the grate there is a tunnel which actually leads to the old bakery. And what Mrs. Sweeney Todd used to do is chop them up and make them into meat pies. So how gruesome is that, pucker?